We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. The truth shall set us free. The truth shall set us free. The truth shall set us free. The truth shall set us free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe the truth shall set us free someday.
I'm Leon Phillips II, born and raised in Galveston, Texas in 1948. Retired from American Airlines as a skycap. Have a janitorial service that I've had for the last 33 years that I still operate.
Well, my name is Jonathan Henry. I'm 14 years old. I'm from Galveston, Texas. I attend Ball High School. I'm a freshman. I just love my family, and I just love being around people.
Great.
It brings back a lot of memories, you know. Like I said earlier, it's kind of like an eerie feeling because we wrote it out in this place, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm a BOI. I got one of the biggest BOIs around, you know. It means exactly that, born on the island, you know. Some people are BOIs, but that actually means born off the island. So you can take that as however you want to, you know. But I'm born on the island, and they say that islanders have salt water in our veins. So we're a breed amongst ourselves, you know. Galveston is an island off the coast of Texas. You know, we're set aside from the rest of the world.
So, Paul, can you describe your dad?
Oh my God. How can I describe my dad? He's just like me. He's just like me, like a blast in the glass. He's the happiest, fun-filled person until you irk him. And then he's like, you ever seen, how can I explain this without saying it? Like, not that he looks like the Hulk, but have you ever seen a Hulk? He's very modest and very to himself until you poke it. And then it's break you in half.
I can remember, let's say, hurricane. My wife is from Indianapolis, Indiana. Doesn't know anything about a hurricane. Really doesn't know anything about storms. In 1961, we had a hurricane called Carla. Hurricane Carla was similar to Ike in this way. The hurricane pushed Gulf water into the Bay of Galveston, and the bay water backed up onto the island. 75% of the island was flooded. My house sits 3 feet up off of the ground. I got probably almost a foot of water inside my house.
Yeah, I haven't been to this place since Ike hit, so.
Tell me how it feels right now to see this.
It brings back a lot of memories, you know. Like I said earlier, it's kind of like an eerie feeling because we wrote it out in this place, and Yeah. It's good to see that they're remodeling it because it's been up since the 60s. It stood Hurricane Carla. So Hurricane Carla, Hurricane Alicia, and all the other hurricanes after that. And then the last one we had, of course, was Ike, Hurricane Ike. And she's still standing. He didn't really damage except pretty much the inside of it. And then some of the, like I was saying, some of the nails and stuff was coming out of the fixture up there.
When I'm in trouble.
Funny thing about storms.
When I'm in trouble.
The year before Ike, there was another storm called Rita. It was supposed to hit Galveston Island. They called for an evacuation of the island. They began to call for evacuation of the mainland, Lamarck, Texas City, Hitchcock. The news probably for 2 days or more was how traffic was backed up on the freeways. My wife and I went to her mother's in Houston. Her mother, which was wheelchair bound, and her sister and a niece and a nephew, we all piled into cars and we went all the way to Temple, Texas, running from Rita. Rita didn't hit Galveston. Rita went around into the Beaumont, Port Arthur area.
The second half of the storm, like I was saying, the second half of the storm, the winds were stronger, and everything. The house started shaking then. I didn't notice the house shaking until the second half of the storm, which was really bad. And that's when the door flew open. That's the main door to the rooms up there. And so when that door flew open, and it was a big, huge door, and it was about that thick, the door was, and the wind blew it open. So when the wind blew it open, I lost my windows, everything throughout because I had furniture down the hallway too that I couldn't fit in the room, aquariums and nightstands and stuff. And all that stuff, you could just see it going down the hallway, just flying down the hallway.
So when Ike came along, a lot of people said, I ain't going nowhere. And they did the same evacuation thing. Well, my wife and I decided, okay, we'll go to Houston. We'll go to her mother's. And we did. And during Ike, a little bit after the main part of the storm had hit and was on the news, I called my neighbor that lives behind me because he had said he wasn't going anywhere. So I called Lionel, and my cell phone worked and his phone worked. So I said, well, Lionel, look out your back door, man. Tell me what's going on. He said, man, it's water everywhere. So he went to his back door and he looked out and he said, the hood of your truck is underwater. I said, what? So I knew it was bad, They didn't allow us to come back for 2 weeks.
They declared martial law after 6 o'clock, which when it got dark, nobody was allowed on the streets. You could sit on your porch, we can come out in our yard, but we couldn't go to that street. We'll be arrested. And there were many reasons for the martial law. First, for safety reasons, for security reasons, like I was saying, earlier, I didn't see a lot of looting. I didn't see any looting, So I guess they were trying to protect people's property, safety reasons and stuff like that. My partner, he ended up getting a part-time job helping to gut out houses. And so the only way that you were allowed out on the street after 6 o'clock is if when you're getting off work, you get off work and you go to where you're staying at.
4700 Broadway is the Galveston Housing Authority. They have a huge parking lot. So the National Guard set up where they were distributing water and ice to individuals. And I was in this line like everybody else to get water and ice. And the lady in front of me was the lady that I had gone to her house probably 2 or 3 weeks earlier. And we were talking, and she turned around and she said, "Leon, I never thought I'd be in a line like this." And she just broke down and started crying, laid her head on my shoulders, and I have this thing about me and God, and out of my mouth came, "My God doesn't make any mistakes."
When you just look at the world, just take a picture of a globe and you just look at it. You look at every continent in its place. And you look at it and you look at its detail one by one. Something goes through your mind, and for me, when I look at the globe, I am really worried, first off, for my country. What's going to happen if something comes towards us?